Yeah. Yeah, what's happening? What's going on out there? What's up, world? What's going on, viewers? What's going on, friends, family, so on and so forth? Happy Friday. Good morning. Welcome to the morning edition on this fine Friday. BS with B. Hannas. This good morning, Benny Hannas. Good morning, B. Hannas. That's me. Good morning, Friday morning. I'm Nikki B. Hannas. You can find me on my music, Heavy Blues Metal. You just heard a little bit, but to hear it correctly, go to nickybhannas.com or nickybhannas.bandcamp.com. Nikki Behan on all streaming services. Some heavy blues metal. That's what I affectionately refer to my music as. This is my little morning talk show where I share some thoughts with the world, talk to the people in my mind. Not that the people are in my mind, they're there too, but you guys are my people. Those who stumble upon this and find yourself listening to me in the mornings. You can find this on YouTube, going live on YouTube. Nikki B. Hannas. BS with B. Hannas is the channel. You can find it eventually on Spotify podcast, Apple podcast, so on and so forth. Let me check my audio. Do I have my audio? So on and so forth. Let me check my audio. Do I have my audio? I got my audio. Cool. Right on. Yeah, man. So happy Friday. Happy Friday out here. Friday's a nice day. It's a good feeling. Payday for many of us. We're out here doing the damn thing. You know, I work weekends. So Friday isn't that it's not the resolution of my week like it is for many people. Although once upon a time it was like, all right, it's Friday. We're cracking the beers with the boys tonight. But I don't do that shit no more. So just another day to work, another day to get to it. Another day to get to it. The premise of this show is that I wake up and I take a nice walk, come in here and read some good stuff and talk to the people. Then I'm going to go about my business. And today that means work. Working in a hot summer day in a burger joint. So it's that's the task at hand. And as I walk this morning, I was not attacked by birds like I have been yesterday. But my neighbor's getting his roof done. These roofers are cleaning up out here. They're hitting like the whole block. Storm damage and shit. 20-plus-year-old construction. So I guess it's that time to get roof work done. And man, I walk by roofers. Dudes got ladders and cranes and 5 or 6 dudes up there just cleaning shingles off. That's some hard fucking work. I admire that. I was never really into the trades in any sense. I did hardwood floors for a little while when I was on probation and I needed pay stubs. I had a job doing hardwood floors and that was a trip. It was very interesting living that real blue collar life, I guess, where you meet at the shop in the morning and then you get the materials you need. The boss gives out the jobs, assigns people to their partners and where they're going, and then in the van you go. Yeah, that was a very interesting period of my life. And I was never very good at it. I never liked it. In retrospect, it would have been great to really lean into it and pour myself into that job to learn that skill, because that's a fucking useful skill, even though it's very, very hard on the body. And, retrospect is a motherfucker sometimes, but that's okay. That's okay. I never quite got the hang of it. And the guys I worked with were, you get what you get. You get blue collar motherfuckers. You know what I mean? A couple of the guys were really cool to me and very patient in teaching me. But the other couple of guys were just mean, just mean motherfuckers. And I would like to say they meant well. I don't know that they meant well, but I understand because I'm the new guy. I'm brought in not because I have experience, but just because the boss is giving his kid a chance, looking out for him. So they looked at it like it was a handout or something, or that I was related to the boss or some shit. And, the boss was doing my family a solid by giving me some work, no doubt. But I'm like, dude, I'm fucking just trying to do the right thing. I'm showing up pretty much on time and shit. They would always get mad that I had to leave a job site or whatever, or roll up to a job site late because I had to go piss in a cup for the county probation. They thought I was bullshitting. I don't know. Whatever, dude. The one bull called him Uncle Bill. Uncle Bill was a funny motherfucker. Old school Delco cat. But he had these fake teeth. And so while he's picking on me and talking all types of shit, teaching me, when he was cool, he was cool. And then when he was a dickhead, he was like king dickhead. But we'd go to fucking the Wawa in the morning. This dude would pull out his fake teeth just to eat like a fucking Wawa meatball sandwich for breakfast. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no earthly way this is the guy talking all this shit. But that's what happens when you're New kid and a stranger in a strange land. You got to take it. You got to deal with it. But it's all good, man. It's all good. I quit that job when I got the burger shop job. Needed pay stubs for probation. And when wintertime rolled around right after New Year's and Christmas, nobody wanted their floors done. So onwards, onwards we go. But I admire that work, dude. I admire that shit. And even back then, I was getting up at like 4:30 in the morning to go to the gym to work out. Again, more for the mental. I was working before I was even exposed to the Jockos and Goggins and Frisellas and Watsons of the world. Like, I always knew that was the trick, was to get up and get after it early before you go about your business. So I look back very fondly on those days. I'd be up at like 4 in the morning. My pre-workout drink would be made all the night before. Get up at like 4 in the morning, be at the Planet Fitness by like 4:40, back to my house by like 6, take a quick shower, then at the job at the warehouse storehouse or whatever at HQ by right around 7:15, just to hang out in a van and fucking smoke cigarettes with these dudes all day. It was a trip. But I walk by these roofers over here, and I can appreciate that hard ass work. It makes me feel like what I do ain't shit, you know. And it's all subjective. It's all relative at a certain level. I believe I work hard. I believe I work well. I believe I put my best foot forward. And when people are coming through the burger joint and think I'm the owner, that happens somewhat often. And I take a sense of pride in that when things go wrong or whatever, and people need answers or people need direction, or, what are we doing? What's happening here? I'm the guy they come to. So, maybe these dudes will be lost in a fucking kitchen, but I sure as shit will be lost on a roof. And at the end of the day, which one's more serviceable? I don't know. An existential dilemma of sorts, but that's okay. That's just kind of how we find ourselves. That's where I find myself, at least. But, it's all good. As I was reading this morning, which is pertinent to me, I walk and I ponder, and I was reading Cam Hanes. I'm reading through Cam Hanes' book, Undeniable, right now. And there was something, the chapter I'm on, he's talking about going from his passion, that is bow hunting, extreme bow hunting, hardcore conditions, deep in the wilderness bow hunting. He's talking about going in his life and his journey, making that go from a passion to the business. And the way Cam talks about it, he's not into the business and talking numbers and spreadsheets and deals and contracts. Understandable, that probably applies to music too. Should my passion become a business, let alone a major business? There's unpleasant paperwork and negotiations and all those things that come with it. That's part of the territory. But in this chapter, he said something that I really liked on that subject, and to quote him, he said, "When I finally got to the point where I stopped moving through life with my head down and ambitions buried, when I started to look upward and outward, I began to be filled with dreams, big, unrealistic dreams." And I like the way he put that. I feel the way he put that. I identify with the way he put that. When I finally got to the point where I stopped moving through life with my head down and ambitions buried. Oh, yes. I don't think I'm alone in that. Many of us, I believe, move through life with our heads down and our ambitions buried for fear of judgment or thinking that it's unreasonable or untenable or it's impossible, never going to happen. And that's that's the point of this, in my view, this personal development thing, really working on yourself, giving yourself permission to dream big and aim high, to really think you can get somewhere like that. I never really had examples of that in my life that I could see, it all existed solely in the abstract. And for many years, my head was down and my ambitions buried. Maybe that's why I drank. Maybe my ambitions were buried because I was drinking. Who knows which one came first, the chicken or the motherfucking egg of the situation? Neither here nor there, but it's pretty cool how it all works out. If that's Cam Hanes' legitimate experience at one point, and he turned it into something where his books are massive and he's on Rogan and he's got an audience and a microphone and that comes with a responsibility, and his message is hard fucking work. Keep hammering. That's pretty cool. It's worth reading in the morning, even if I'm not this hard motherfucker on a roof under a June sun. You know what I mean? Doing what I can in my own little lane in the world. And that's it stuck out to me today. And then as I'm walking, I'm listening to something from Alex Hormozy. And one of the things that he was talking about is how to just be happier every day. Like if you can choose to be in a bad mood for no reason, then you can surely choose to be in a good mood for no reason. And he was talking about how there were a few things. If he could do a couple things every day, the day was good. And for him, he basically said eating without being in a rush, lifting. I'm sorry, not even just that, but eating with people he likes and lifting with people he likes and writing something he likes. And if he could do all of those without being in a rush, without being pressed for time, without being compressed or having to hurry up and fucking get it done and doing the best with what you got, it's yup. I identify with that too. I like doing this, but this is a wild card in my mornings. I'm still trying to get my legs under me. Me and my man EMP, we were hanging out last night. He's like, yeah, I'll hear from you in the morning, man. 8:55. I'm like, shit, 8:55 still too late. Because then I'm getting to the gym a little bit late. If I left right now, getting to the gym about 9:30 and shit, Hormozy's right. I would love to be at the gym fucking 30 minutes ago, doing what I got to do and not feeling like I have to, like I'm pressured under the gun. That lends itself to what Cam was writing about. Being rushed and pushed along by forces outside of one's control. That puts you in a position where your head's down all of a sudden. You're not really in control of your time. You're not really in control of your energy at that point. Really, that lends itself to having your head down. That lends itself to burying one's ambitions. Whereas when you're fucking at it way earlier and on top of it, with gusto, at least for me, my experience is my whole perspective is completely fundamentally different when I'm there early under the initiative. Now, this is a learning curve for me, and I'm not going to keep talking about how late I am and but like I would like this to get a little bit earlier. That's up to me to fucking have just get up earlier. You know what I mean? Like that is the fucking secret to all of this shit, and it's one that I really fucking struggle with. And I don't know if that's I don't know what kind of dilemma that is necessarily either. Is my head still down and my ambitions are still buried, which is why 20 minutes here, 10 minutes there, that fucking sets off my track. How do you flip that switch? How do you fucking negate that and continue? I don't know. I guess you keep going and fucking keep trying. I guess you fucking just keep hammering at it and get better, incrementally better every day. Will show us the way. And then I was reading in this book from my readings today, from the AA book, as Bill sees it. One thing that I liked here, I'm going to read from him on June 20th. Bill says, you are asking yourself, as all of us must, who am I? Where am I? Whence do I go? The process of enlightenment is usually slow, but in the end, our seeking always brings a finding. These great mysteries are, after all, enshrined in complete simplicity. The willingness to grow is the essence of all spiritual development. Chicken or the egg in the proverbial situation right here, man. And that's fucking exactly true. So we just got to keep going. The willingness to grow is the essence of all spiritual development. And we got to be honest with that. We all want to grow until it's time to grow. Sometimes growing fucking sucks. Sometimes growing requires some grit and rigor and fucking hard work that's just unpleasant and miserable and it sucks shit. That's the essence of spiritual development. So the masters say. So the men who know way more than I do. So I'm going to take that as a lesson and keep it motherfucking pushing. You know what I mean? 14-minute mark before I end this. I got one more reading. We're going to go back to my man, Norman Vincent Peale, for some positive thinking on this fine Friday. Also, I think I'm a little dyslexic. I was listening back to my yesterday's stream and I say, happy Thursday. 10 seconds later, I say, it's a Wednesday. Motherfucker, I got to pay attention to my days. Maybe I'm just so lost in the work that I can't pay attention to the days, man. Now, at my best, I think that's true. At my worst, I'm just a fool and I'm just rambling. My mind is going too fast for my mouth. I'm saying stupid shit. So I digress. That's okay. Positive thinking time. My man, Norman Vincent Peale, June 20th. How do you keep enthusiasm going? Form a mental picture of the goal you wish to attain and another picture of that goal as being already achieved. And you have put wings under the hard toil of trying. Fucking A right. Happy Friday. Let us put some wings under the hard toil of frying and unbury those ambitions, baby. That's what I say now. In about 2 hours, I'll be triggered and irritated. But that's all good. Thanks for hanging out with me this Friday morning. Nikki B. Hannas, that's me. This is my show. BS with B. Hannas. You can find it on YouTube when I go live at some point in the morning. At some point in the morning. BS with B. Hannas on YouTube. Be able to find it on Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Amazon Audible. You can find my music. I like doing music, heavy blues metal, some hard fucking rock and roll. You can find it at nickybhannas.com, nickybhannas.bandcamp.com, Nikki B. Hannas on all streaming services. What I got today, this is my song, I Ain't Stopping. The hard toil of trying, baby. Fucking A. One love. Keep it real. Peace.
Sideways as the classic story goes. What could have been is a tragedy. Mystery, nobody knows. That's all we're